In 2025, scientists analyzing reproductive samples made a discovery that sounded almost impossible. They examined fluid from women undergoing fertility treatments and semen samples from men, expecting to study hormones, cell health, and reproductive markers. Instead, they found something entirely unexpected: tiny fragments of plastic. Not just contamination from the lab, but actual polymer particles embedded within the fluid surrounding human eggs and present inside semen itself. These weren't abstract traces, they were physical remnants of the same materials used in food containers, synthetic clothing, and non-stick cookware, now sitting inside the very systems responsible for creating life. So, what exactly are microplastics? These are tiny fragments that form when larger plastic items break down over time. Some are so small they can't be seen with the naked eye. These are called nanoplastics. They come from everyday sources like plastic bottles, bags, packaging, tires, and synthetic fabrics. Imagine them like microscopic dust that never disappears. Once released, they spread everywhere through oceans, soil, air, and even rainfall. And now, research shows they are entering the human body continuously. Scientists estimate that we ingest tens of thousands of these particles every month without even realizing it. Over the past few years, microplastics have been detected in multiple parts of the human body. Researchers have found them in blood, breast milk, placentas, and even vital organs like the brain, heart, and liver. But the most alarming discovery is their presence in the reproductive system. On the female side, scientists studied follicular fluid, the liquid that surrounds and nourishes a developing egg in the ovary. In a group of 25 women, microplastics were found in nearly 70% of these samples, raising serious concerns about how deeply these particles are infiltrating human biology.
Even more concerning are the patterns emerging from these findings. Some studies have observed that higher levels of microplastics in follicular fluid are associated with increased levels of follicle-stimulating hormone, or FSH. This hormone often rises when the ovaries are under stress. At the same time, these higher concentrations have been linked to lower fertilization success rates in IVF treatments. While this doesn't prove direct causation, it suggests that microplastics may be interfering with the delicate hormonal and cellular environment needed for successful reproduction. In men, the findings are just as unsettling. Researchers analyzed semen samples from men undergoing fertility treatments and discovered microplastics in over half of them. In one study, 9 different types of plastic polymers were identified within seminal fluid. Among them was PTFE, the chemical family used in non-stick coatings like Teflon. Other plastics included materials commonly found in water bottles, food packaging, and textiles. The presence of these substances inside semen raises serious questions about their potential impact on sperm health and function.
Further studies have pushed these concerns even deeper. In 2024, researchers examining human testicular tissue found microplastics in nearly every sample tested. When compared to similar samples from animals, human tissues showed significantly higher concentrations. Another study, analyzing semen and urine samples from over 100 men, identified multiple plastic types directly within sperm samples. One of these, again PTFE, was associated with reduced sperm quality. These findings suggest that microplastics are not just passing through the body, they are embedding themselves in critical reproductive tissues. Microplastics have also been detected in placental tissue and amniotic fluid, which surround and protect a developing fetus during pregnancy. This suggests a possible pathway for these particles to pass from mother to child before birth. While scientists are still investigating what this exposure means for fetal development, the possibility alone raises serious concerns. It indicates that exposure to plastic pollution may begin even before a person takes their first breath.
Animal studies provide additional clues about potential effects. In laboratory settings, microplastics have been linked to reduced sperm count, decreased sperm quality, and damage to protective barriers in male reproductive systems. In females, they have been associated with ovarian dysfunction, fewer healthy follicles, and hormonal imbalances. Researchers have also observed increased inflammation, and oxidative stress in reproductive organs. While human studies are still ongoing, these patterns suggest that microplastics may interfere with biological processes essential for fertility. This raises a larger question. Fertility rates have been declining in many parts of the world for decades. There are many factors involved: lifestyle, environment, health conditions. But could widespread plastic exposure be one piece of this complex puzzle? Scientists are still connecting the dots, but the growing presence of microplastics in human reproductive systems suggests that this issue cannot be ignored.
So how do these particles get inside us? There are three main pathways. First is what we eat and drink. Bottled water often contains high levels of microplastics, and heating food in plastic containers can release even more. Everyday items like seafood, salt, and even tea bags have been found to contain plastic particles. The second pathway is the air we breathe. Tiny fibers from synthetic clothing, car tires, and household dust can be inhaled and enter the bloodstream. The third is through direct contact with materials we wear and use daily, especially synthetic fabrics that shed microscopic fibers. Once inside the body, microplastics behave differently depending on their size. Larger particles may pass through the digestive system and be excreted within days. However, smaller nanoplastics can cross biological barriers and enter the bloodstream. From there, they can travel to organs and tissues, including the reproductive system. The human body has no known mechanism to fully break down plastic polymers, meaning some of these particles may remain in tissues for extended periods. Scientists believe that ongoing exposure over time is likely more significant than any single instance.
While completely avoiding plastic is nearly impossible in today's world, there are practical steps that can reduce exposure. Switching from plastic bottles to glass or stainless steel can make a significant difference. Avoid heating food in plastic containers, as heat increases the release of particles. Choosing natural fibers like cotton, wool, or linen instead of synthetic fabrics can reduce microfiber shedding. Using air filters and improving ventilation can help lower airborne particles indoors. Small changes in daily habits can gradually reduce the overall burden on the body. Opting for fresh, minimally processed foods reduces exposure from packaging. Using glass storage containers, wooden utensils, and stainless steel or cast iron cookware can further limit contact with plastics. Even using specialized laundry filters can help capture microfibers before they enter water systems. These actions may seem small individually, but together they create meaningful reductions in exposure over time.
We are living in a world saturated with plastic, and its presence is now extending into the most fundamental aspects of human biology. The discovery of microplastics in sperm, eggs, and reproductive tissues marks a turning point in how we understand environmental exposure and its potential consequences. Science is still uncovering the full impact, but one thing is clear: this is no longer just an environmental issue. It is a human health issue, directly connected to the future of reproduction itself.